So I can't help but feel that Borderlands is somehow a tale of two games or something. I don't know if that's the best way to put it, honestly. On one hand, it is more of the same. It's what we want from Borderlands, right? It's that same gunplay, it's that same look and feel. What it's not is quick inventory management and quick menuing. And I almost feel like the design team was split, and the guys making the game said, hey, let's do really cool, fast moving things. Let's plagiarize from Fortnite. Let's plagiarize from Halo 5 Guardians. Let's plagiarize jetpack experiences from Destiny. And then the UI team and the inventory management team said, let's make a deep RPG. I feel that's where we are right now in this game, and I don't understand it. So it is fun. I do like it. I played about 2.5 hours today with my buddy Chris. We are doing the co-op campaign, so we're going to be playing together, but I did want to spend a few minutes just by myself, kind of walking you through some of my thoughts on it so far. So you'll notice right away, this is a big world. Massive, massive draw distance in pretty much every direction. And just to give you a sense of the scale, we're talking a really big world. Now, obviously, we've just started, so we haven't covered too much, but it's big. It is very big. And basically, inside of the world, there are quest markers with objectives to do that will give you wards. There are side things to find on your own. You just kind of stumble into areas to explore, and you could see there on the map there are activities and there are collectibles for each area. And by the way, really quickly, there are areas that are marked with question marks. It's like, hey, there might be something there. Just kind of give you a quest hub. Now, obviously, we're going to probably golden path this game. That's what we did with Borderlands 3. We didn't really do a whole lot of the side missions, and I'm okay with that. We just kind of stuck to the main story. We'll see how this one turns out. We'll see if it grabs our attention. Let me just do a little bit of the combat here, and I'll explain to you some of the problems that I'm having with this game. First and foremost is, while the combat is great, it's very, very, very fast, and I like that. It also very quickly becomes overwhelming because of, and there you go, there's a perfect example of the open world aspects to this game. I'm going to die and take a massive penalty. It's fine. I don't really care. I'm not going to be able to kill this guy in time, am I? Probably not. Nope. The enemies in this game are like the enemies in Destiny. They just spawn constantly. They never stop. You never get the sense of any completeness or wholeness in this game. And that is a massive annoyance to me. So all these little holes you see, all these little doors and everything, that's basically where enemies can spawn out. And they can continue to spawn over and over and over, and they don't stop. And while you're going through collecting loot and trying to figure out what's going on, well, guess what? They're still coming. And you might have a clear area for 5 or 10 seconds and think you're fine. And then, you know what? You're not. Because they're just pooping out again. And you're going through your menu and you're getting hit. And you're like, wait a minute, why am I getting hit? What's going on here? And it's like, oh, okay, I understand now. Perfect example. This guy, where did he come from? You saw me walk down the stairs. How could he have just teleported there? Because they just pop out of everywhere. And it becomes a bit overwhelming. And I'm not a fan of that. I think they need... I appreciate what they're doing. I get the idea. It's this vibrant open world, right? You're here to learn and grow and explore and do fun, cool things and see everything the world has to offer to you, right? But there's got to be an ebb and flow to this, and there's just not right now. And it becomes almost overly chaotic and hectic as you're just basically running from enemy to enemy as fast as possible, and you don't really get a chance to catch your breath. And I don't like that. So we're going to go ahead and clear all these guys so we can go ahead and talk about some of the movement mechanics. But gunplay is fine. I mean, they perfected this recipe long ago. All the guns are fun. A lot of them have dual fire modes. A lot of them have weird mechanics. You know, exactly what you want to see in a Borderlands game. You saw me there just a second ago. I'll go ahead and cast them again. You could see some of my abilities here of the ghosts that I can summon that come out and fight, which are really cool. The Siren, I think, is a really, really fun... I think it's probably the best Siren yet, honestly. I like the summoning thing, and like I'm like part siren, part necromancer or something. I'm not even sure, to be honest with you. It's pretty cool though. It makes me feel good about myself, and it's cool to just shoot people and get all their loot. All right, we got it. Now let's go ahead and just stand here, and we'll see if what I'm saying is true, where guys start spawning out again, or if the game's going to behave just for a minute. But we got a clear area. Some of the new combat mechanics include the grappling hook. Now you notice there, as I'm mousing over these things, I got R3, I hit the grappling hook, and now I'm holding this. Very reminiscent of Halo. You can then throw this as a weapon, and it'll do some damage. Kind of nice. You could also shoot it too if you wanted to. You don't have to use the grappling hook. There's also predetermined tether points in the game where you're going to be able to use your tether. I don't know if I thought there was one over here. And it's going to launch you in the air. This game is massive, massive mobility. You have your normal run, you have your normal jump, you have your normal slide. But then you can dash in any direction, and you see that meter fill up. That's kind of like your action meter, for lack of a better word. And basically how it works is any of these fun actions you do, like the jetpack, kind of summons into that meter a little bit. So you could take off, and you could start gliding, and you could slide into, you could slide into a glide. And by the way, just like in Half-Life, there is a preservation of momentum, so you can really traverse very, very rapidly in this game. They've also added this kind of like really like Superman punch. It's kind of cool. Kind of like start off in combat. Very reminiscent of Halo 5. Like I said, Halo 5, I feel like Halo 5 Guardians was the template for this movement mechanic, especially where you're doing this kind of stuff when you're fighting and moving your way around. And you can imagine when you're grappling stuff and you're throwing stuff and you're jetpacking and you're sliding and you're punching, it becomes very frantic. And it feels good. It feels good. I like it. Because of that, there is an increased emphasis on exploration and on verticality. Like, there might be a treasure up there. I don't know. But I can go up and check. And it's not like I'm limited to certain areas. If you think you can get there, you probably can. And, at least in my experience so far, you'll probably be rewarded, which is really, really nice. I found weapon caches and crates all over the place that offer some really, really cool rewards. So Chris and I were running around and just having fun and just finding things to get ourselves into, which was really, really cool. I appreciate that. And I think that they did a good job with the tool set that you have to explore this world. And we're only a couple hours in. I'm sure there's other abilities to come, but it's that Todd Howard Skyrim moment. Like, you see that tree over there? You can go climb it, right? I like that. I think that's good. So you got that really cool open world element of things, but then you come into this really bogus menu, and oh my God, this game just falls apart. So they're sticking to the kind of tried and true cursor method. There's no short keys on like controller. Like, I can't hit the D-pad up, down, left, and right to manage my weapons. I have to move the cursor around, which is fine. Let's see. You see, there's these little exclamation marks here. It's like, hey, you got a new weapon. Okay, well, let's go ahead and check it out. Well, here's all the new weapons I got, right? A lot of stuff. Okay, so let's look at all the ways I could filter it. I can filter it by recent, by rarity, by type, by level, by value, by manufacturer, by damage, by accuracy, reload time, refire rate, ammo, critical damage, DPS, splash radius. I could also filter it by rarity. I could filter it by type. I could filter it by traits or manufacturer. Lots and lots of ways to manage your weapons. So in this case, I'm like, hey, I really, really want to just filter it by DPS. All right, there you go. Right now, that is my best gun. And look at the stat dump you get in here. You get all of these stats on accuracy and reload time and bullet velocity and clip. If there's an alt fire mode, it's a lot of data. And I don't know if people really care. Borderlands has never really been like, I got to sit here and think for 20 minutes. Is that a better gun than this? Well, this one has, 8% better accuracy than this one, and this one has 7 more. No one cares. It is a run and gun game. I just showed you that. So why are they hindering the gameplay with this bloated menu system? I don't understand. It's very confusing. Now, let's say you're like, you know what? I want to settle on this. I want the game to leave me just DPS. That's all I care about. I don't care about any other stuff. Let's go ahead and exit out of the menu. Let's go ahead and reopen the menu. And it's reset back to manufacturer. So I got to go back down to weapons and click DPS every single time I want to change my weapon. I'm sure they'll patch this at some point, but this is not the only thing that the game has done that has made it more difficult to play. All right, so you remember in old Borderlands, you had the ability to automatically just discard junk weapons like grays. Like you just pick them up and instantly you just auto sell them. It just goes into the nether. It's not bogging down your inventory or anything like that. Well, unfortunately, they don't have that mechanic in the game anymore. You're going to have to go on every single gun and press and hold R3 and toggle it as junk. And that is the only way you're going to be able to, you see, put the little trash can there on the bottom. That's the only way you can sell stuff in bulk. It's very, very stupid. Very, very stupid. I don't understand it. So I got to go. Now that I have two things marked as junk, now I can run back over here to the vendor station, and I can walk over to the vendor station, and I can sell my junk. That's not bad. And there you go. My junk's gone. I got a couple bucks for it. You know this game is constantly dumping stuff. You know it is. Look at all these guns that I just picked up that I'm going to have to go through by filtering and going down to DPS and managing my gun. Same thing is true for your equipment. Now, I didn't talk about this a minute ago, but I'll talk about it here. This game includes stim packs. So you actually have a stim pack that is on a cooldown. There's trade-offs. Sometimes it's damage over, it's healing over seconds. Sometimes it's just a blast of healing. Sometimes it has a long cooldown, a short cooldown. Sometimes it does something else, like it'll, allow you to do an ultimate faster or during the time you're reloading more, whatever. Okay. Lots of trade-offs there, but yet another system to manage. Additionally, your throwables are now considered ordnance, so they can be throwing knives or grenades. I'm sure there's other stuff. You see, I don't even have everything completely locked yet. There's more stuff coming. And the same thing holds true with damage, or shields rather. There's a shield regeneration time, and how long does it take to regenerate? How much shield does it regenerate per second? All that kind of stuff. Lots of stats, lots and lots of stats. Skill tree remains mostly the same. You can pick what kind of skills you want, and you could toggle those pretty easily. That's not too hard at all. I've been enjoying the skills that I started with. You saw me cast them before. Those are those specters that come out to support me. And then also your storage deck upgrade is now on your inventory. You don't have to go back to the Hyperion or whatever the hell the name of that dopey ship was in Borderlands 3. You're just going to go ahead and collect currency just by doing things. I've been just throwing everything in backpack because I get so much inventory and it takes so long to manage. And sometimes Chris and I just want to go, go, go. I don't want to sit and spend 15 minutes. So the more stuff I can hold at a single time, better for me. And I'm fine with that. But yeah, I mean, it's different, I'm glad they changed the game. I'm glad they continue to do new things. I'm glad that they're pushing the envelope. I think the exploration is what's going to keep people coming back. And I'm reading a lot of the reviews of people who got the early access, basically talking about that exactly, saying, hey, there's no shortage of activities. And there's not. There's enemies all over the place. There's treasures all over the place. There's gun crates all over the place. There's things to do, missions to get into, trouble to have. And I agree that there's no shortage of that. But it is, like I said, it is that dichotomy of great, fun, fluid combat and overly bloated, complicated menus with submenus, with submenus, with submenus, with layers and layers and layers that just take a while to navigate and manage. And it's just not intuitive or fun or fast to just get your favorite gun and move out. And I think that's something that this game really needs to work on. I think if they can nail that piece of it, then you're just going to get lost in this world. You're going to have so much fun in this open world environment, collecting the side missions and the treasures and enjoying the zany story and all that kind of stuff. But that'll wrap up my review for today, at least early access. I'll probably do some more gameplay videos in the future. When we get a little bit farther, maybe I have a little bit more to say about the game. For now, it's fun. Could be better. I think this is kind of going to fall under live serviceness, but I will say to game developers as I close out this video, you're going to make a numbered sequel? Do not take away mechanics from us. Do not. Don't take away something we had before. How simple is that? How boggling is that? That you didn't start with the original game as a baseline and add to it. I can't tell you. I can't tell you why they did what they did, but they did it. All right. We'll leave it there. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Lots of more gameplay reviews and all that kind of stuff coming on the channel later in the week. So stay tuned. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.